It's hard to imagine today, but there was a point when there was no Olympics, and there were even years when there were no Winter Olympics. And today, we're going to go back to the history of how the Winter Olympics got started back in January 1924. Today on Daily Sports History. Welcome to Daily Sports History. I'm Ethan Reese, your guide to a rapid deep dive into the sports history every day. Before the dazzling spectacles of skiers soaring through the sky and snowboarders flipping through the air, there was a pioneering legend. His name was the Roth Ha. In 1924, on the grand stage of Chamonix, France, he sped down the slopes and captured the world's imagination with not one, two, but 3 gold medals. As multiple cameras now capture these feats, we journey back to a time where there were a mere 16 countries gathered to compete. It was the first Olympic Games, held back in January 25th to February 5th, 1924, a time when figure skating, speed skating, hockey, curling, and more took the stage. A time when Canada's hockey team established itself as a powerhouse. This was the world a century ago, but it laid the foundation for what we know today, the world of ice and snow, combined with athletics and making legends. Today, the Winter Olympics are celebrated every 4 years, and the dominant nations have evolved, but the spirit remains the same. From the icy mountains of France to the bustling cities of Korea, the Games have grown, welcoming 3,000 athletes from 92 countries, including non-traditional winter countries such as Nigeria, Ecuador, and Malaysia. And it all began with an idea floated at the 7th session of the IOC in June 1921. The concept of a designated Winter Olympics faced resistance from Scandinavian countries who already had their Nordic Games, but the idea was embraced and a celebration of winter sports was set for 1924 in France. The French National Olympic Committee stepped in, financing the new facilities needed for the first Winter Olympics, and they estimated approximately 10,000 people would witness history. It was there that they would have 12 days of competition, and the president of the IOC declared that it was an unprecedented success, and they hoped to continue to grow, like the Summer Olympics had. In May 1925, they officially named the event the first Winter Olympic Games. But what were the events themselves in these first Winter Games? There were 6 sports and 16 events, featuring 16 nations, and featuring over 250 athletes. And Norway led the way in points, followed by Finland, Great Britain, and the United States. And Charles Dutroux made history as the first American to win gold in the 500-meter speed skating, and the Nordic skier Roth Ha captivated the world, winning 3 gold medals, cementing Norway's dominance, and his legacy lives on in the races named after him. From the depths of Norway's to the heights of Finland, Claes Thurbo dominated speed skating, earning 3 gold medals, a silver, and a bronze. Austrian ice skater Hermanna Szabó dazzled judges, defeating her competition with grace in the figure skating competition. And Canada dominated hockey, as they do similar today, scoring 122 goals and only allowing 3. The final match versus the U.S. was a teamwork battle, ending in a 6-1 victory. The spectators were a mix of European and Americans. They produced howls and cheers as they watched competition unfold in front of them. Over the years, the Olympics have changed from their humble beginnings. Today, we see everything: more countries, more sports, more athletes, more events, and more medals. Yet the challenges remain. The inaccessibility of certain winter sports to some nations persists, limiting the Winter Olympic reach, as it's very difficult for warm climate countries to compete. And the qualification standards and requirements can be very expensive to train for. Over the years, more sports have been added, and everything is now televised, where you can watch an event that you want to see any time of day. And superstars have come from these Olympic Games, just as they have from the Summer Olympics. In the 1980s, they made the switch. Instead of going the same year as the Summer Olympics, to go have the Olympics every 2 years, the Summer Olympics, and then 2 years later, the Winter Olympics, so that the Olympics could be in the minds of the world every 2 years instead of 4. What do you think? Which is better, the Summer or the Winter Olympics? Thank you for joining us for today's Daily Sports History. If you want to see photos from today's topic, you can always join us on our socials. Daily Sports History on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. Come back tomorrow for more Daily Sports History.